Wait for You by Future.
Rose Street by Vince Staples.
Out of Time, The Weeknd.
Persuasive Remix by Doechii featuring SZA.
Last by Burna Boy.
All right, should we get into this?
What up, y'all? Welcome back to another Stereo Vision video.
Come on, we got the best songs of the year.
This week's video, we gonna talk about some of the songs I think have been on our playlist for the year. The shit that we've been spinning, at parties, in the room, in the whip, just shit that maybe isn't part of like the albums or some of like the big name artists, but just the individual tracks that have really hit different for us this year.
Totally. The song list is always so fun because it takes so much for an album to make my list. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be a whole body of work. It's got to be this. It's got to be that. But songs can be more fun. They can be loosies, just little moments that people had, or they could just be reflections of these bigger bodies of work.
It was mad competitive for me because it's like it's easy to be a great song for me. You know what I mean? You could have something about you that grabs me. You know what I mean? I don't think it necessarily takes a lot. But then when I'm going to my top 20, the ones that are really, really up there, then the difference is negligible between fucking 5 and 17,
Yeah.
So putting them in order, really thinking about it, made me realize what I've really been drawn to this year, the genres, the artists, the types of music. So it's been fun. I'm excited to get into this for real.
I am too. Before we both got our top 20, but before we get into that, I think we got a couple honorable mentions.
Facts.
You got a couple you want to shout out?
The 3 that I'm so sad I could not include on my list because they're all great are The Realist by ESTG and Jeezy, Street Anthem, great shit. Super Gremlin by Kodak Black.
Nice.
Everyone fucking loves that song. Kodak, that Back for Everything album is incredible. And then John P's Caddy.
Oh my God.
That is a song that everyone really gave a lot of acclaim to. Everyone was really saying, oh my God, is this like Pete Cole verse? Da-da-da-da-da. Maybe didn't resonate with me as much as everyone else.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the sole reason why it was this low, but was a moment in the year. I'm going to give it a shout out.
Yeah.
Benny Cole.
3 that it was hard for me to leave off my list are On Everything off the Kodak album. That's one of my favorite Kodak songs ever. I was really happy with Back for Everything. Dark Hearted by Freddie Gibbs, incredible song. And then Jackie Brown by Brent Faiyaz. Because I listened to that Brent album so much, and then it just didn't. It didn't make its way onto any of my lists, and I'm so sad about that because that got a lot of play for me this year.
Yeah, that's a really big album for me, but I also did not include any Brent on my list.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
All right, should we get into this?
I'm down. You want to start off?
Sure. Okay, so at 20, my 20th song of the year is Can't Make You Change by JID featuring Ari Lennox. It's my favorite song on that album, off the JID album, The Forever Story, and it's perfect to me. I think Ari sings her ass off. I think the second half after the beat switch might be even better with JID. And instrumentally, it's so interesting.
Number 20 for me, Come On Let's Go, off the I Know Nego album with Tyler the Creator, man.
Yep.
Pharrell production, Tyler the Creator rapping. You really don't need much else. A video to promote the album that was fucking incredible. Tyler's in that mode. Whenever Tyler's in that rapping bag, you know what I mean? He's creating music. It's good to see. He sounds like he hasn't lost a step at all from the last project.
Call Me.
Yeah, so.
My 19th song is Chanel Pearls by Conway the Machine featuring Jill Scott.
Yeah.
Just a masterpiece. Yeah. Like if you like Conway, you don't even gotta like Conway. If you like hip hop, you like that song. It's just really incredible. It's beautiful. It's ballad. Jill sings her ass off. Conway does what Conway always fucking does and spazzes out, but he's going at a nice slow, relaxed tempo, but everything he says is just as potent as always is. Yeah. It's just a really reflective song, kind of on his whole career, and more than that, his whole life. It's a great song.
Number 19 for me, I had Wait for You by Future.
Yep.
This is not my favorite song on High Off Life. Definitely not the one that maybe I'll go to.
Or I Never Liked You.
Or I Never Liked You, yeah. But this is the song that I think the world could listen to. I think if you're not the biggest Future fan, if you maybe are one of his female fans, you could play this song, you know what I mean? Get behind the Tim sample. Yeah. The Drake feature, you know what I mean? Of course, he's going to deliver, but seeing Future in this bag. I think a lot of people aren't familiar maybe with the Hendrix Future that we know.
Yeah.
The one that showed all the versatility and type of beats he could go over. ATL Jacob once again came through with an amazing beat. I think that this is just pointing attention to a great sample and three of our best artists we have right now getting together on a track.
Okay, my 18th song is Matinee by Smino.
Yeah.
The single from Love for Rent. That song gets better every time I listen to it. It's so fun. It's everything that I love about Smino. It's fun vocal inflections. It's wholesome subject matter. It's unique references. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just so, like, you're so on the edge of your seat when you're listening to that song, but really all of Smino's music, because you never have any idea what he's going to do next.
Yeah.
Because he has a deep, deep, deep bag of things that he could do next. And he uses them sparingly. He's amazing. I love Smino.
Number 18 for me is Sungba Remix by Asake featuring Burna Boy.
Okay.
Yo. So this man, Asake, is taking the Afrobeat wave and doing it his own way. I think that the way that he's been able to get with an American record label and kind of take the aspects that work with hip hop and rap in terms of like imaging, the gold teeth, the dreads, the drip, all that, bring it into Afrobeat, but still keep the sound so pure. It's like, specifically, I think it's like Amapiano music, which is like kind of like a variant of like Afrobeat. Great song, fucking great artist. And then Burna Boy is the highlight of the song. When Burna Boy comes on the track and just takes it over, and his voice is so definitive on that. And once again, I'm always going to say triumphant with this type of music because it does seem powerful. Celebration anthem. Listen to that.
All right, number 17 for me is Weekend in the Perrys by Benny the Butcher featuring Boldy James. Like one of my most played songs of the year. It was in my top 5 on my Spotify Wrapped. But just when Boldy can get on these beats, I love Boldy on like a happy major beat, something that's like beautiful. You know what I mean? Because it is art. The way he raps is art, and like, I don't know, like it's already so menacing that I like when it's kind of balanced out. You know what I mean? And I don't know, Boldy's verse is one of the best verses I've heard in my whole life. Like, I love the fucking song to death. I love that song.
At number 17, I got Way Too Long, Buddy featuring Blast.
So good.
Maybe the easiest song to listen to of this year.
Yeah.
You could play it in any situation, in any mood, and it means so many different things, and it's just a vibe. You want to dance a little bit to it. I think that's been the theme of a lot of the songs for me this year. It's like, if I want to move to it, if it like brings that out of me without even trying to, I'm gonna give it that extra points. Blast fucking like this, whatever he does on the chorus of this song, with that like kind of bouncy West Coast like beachy summertime production, it's undefeated. 16
for me, Rose Street by Vince Staples. To me, the best song on Ramona Park Broke My Heart. It was the second single, and it's just like really polished, really refined. Like, you can poke no holes in that song. You know what I'm saying? It's smooth, it's player. It's addicting. You know what I mean?
Underrated chorus. Really underrated chorus.
Really underrated chorus.
At number 16, I got Savior by Kendrick Lamar.
So fire.
Now, this is maybe one of the more standout tracks on Miss Morale and the Big Steppers. I think it's a song that'll definitely get your energy high up. It's one of the more upbeat moments on that project,
Yeah.
It was show-stopping from the first time I heard it. When he does but I'm not your savior, he's not your savior, whatever, listing all the names, kind of calling people out. It feels like a moment. It's very attention-grabbing. Fucking Keem is perfect on that. Are you happy for me?
Really? Are you happy for me? I love that song. Oh my God, I'm embarrassed. I didn't realize On Everything was on my list when I gave it honorable mention.
Look at this guy.
At number 15, I got On Everything by Kodak Black. See, I didn't want to do no fucking honorable mentions. I got all my songs on my list. But for me, this song stands out because it was so reflective. And it sounded like he's in a really good headspace. It sounded like he's working on himself because he's problematic. He's fucked up. It's so in the public eye.
Yeah.
But we're, of course, rooting for him. You know what I mean? So, like, to hear him take positive steps, that moment kind of married really well to the moments that he had on Kendrick's album.
At number 15, I have Mercury by Steve Lacy. An incredible song. Like, my personal favorite off of Gemini Rights, I think.
Yeah.
Just a song that I think from the first time I heard it, it really spoke to me a little bit differently. I've heard a lot of people say that they don't love this song, and it's so interesting because I think everything else on the album is so easy to like.
Yeah.
This is the one that's a little bit jarring. I think that the production has a lot going on. You know what I mean? It's like the little like cowbell or whatever in the background, just like you're hearing a bunch of different things, but the message and what he's saying in the lyrics are so poetic.
Yeah.
And like timely, and like I'm not big on like the whole like Mercury retrograde, whatever. But like Steve makes me want to fucking believe that shit.
You feel me? Keeping on theme, in 14, I've got Helmet by Steve Lacy.
Yeah.
This song was the one that grew on me the most, I think, throughout the year. And I don't know. I think like everything about this song, like every different element of this song is like perfect. Mm-hmm. You know, like you talk about how like his voice stands out to you on Mercury, and, you know, but this song I think marries everything in such a good way. You know, like the songwriting stands out more to me on this than the whole album. The whole album's a cheat code, bro. I can't even compare it to
this
itself.
This is a really well written song.
Yeah,
but
this
is a really, really well written song.
Helmet is so good. Like, I don't know. It's earwormy. You know what I mean? It's impossible to get out of your head. And the beat is crazy.
That's what I was gonna say.
The little like
or the guitar.
Underwater guitar.
Number 14, I have Pussy in Millions by Drake, 21 Savage, and Travis Scott.
Yep.
I think if you say those 3 names on a song 9 times out of 10, it's gonna fucking be great.
Yep.
I think that what made this song special for me, even though Her Loss hasn't been out for a long time, is the energy behind it and like the message of the song. Because I think it's easy to be on some flex shit. It's easy to be on some fuck my op shit. It's easy to be on some just like, you know, boring ass shit. They could have phoned it in.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, I'm going to get this triumphant ass beat, this epic ass beat. I'm going to deliver a motivational message that like anyone could get behind, that I really believe in. 21 Savage is saying shit like, what is it, bro? Like, I love to hustle the most and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, just things like that are really exciting to me to hear from people who are still at the pinnacle of their career.
Yeah.
Travis Scott resurgence, you know what I mean? Whenever we're seeing him in 2022, it's been really great. So
yeah,
probably my favorite song off Her Loss.
At number 13, I got Fire in the Hole by Earl Sweatshirt. My favorite song on Sick, which was one of the best albums of the year. I don't know, from the horns, you know, or whatever that instrument is that like really anchors the beat is 100% hypnotizing. And to me, it seems like the most like cryptic, like writing on the album. You know what I mean? Like when I hear that, I think like he knows something I don't, that I want to know. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, he's like leaving hints at this like big idea. You know, I don't know, bro. I don't know. That song is really, really insane to me.
Number 13 for me is Sincerely Face off Babyface Ray's new album Face.
Yep.
This is a song that was the first one that I got into. I'm literally like sitting in my room and I see like the music video, and I'd seen the music video for Sincerely Face pop up like multiple days in a row.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, fuck it. I got to click on it, right? High energy, which is something that I don't always really say with Babyface Ray. And I think a lot of that has to do with the beat. Just like, I'm better than you. Mm-hmm. I have like more money than you. And if you don't know about it yet, you will. And your fucking favorite rapper knows it too. So fuck with me. Like very confident energy. The bars, bro, make her hit her knees like my name, Allah, Rocket Fear of God, like crazy, just alone in that. Like Ray could rap his ass off, and songs like that really make you have to pay attention to that. Yeah. And shows you he can do whatever he so chooses on a beat. It's just a matter of what type of production he wants to go over that day.
Totally. Number 12, I have Persuasive Remix by Doechii featuring SZA. Yeah. This was really like when I was like, oh shit, like she's the one. You know what I mean? Because like we heard what she said and we're like, oh, she's really dope. Mm-hmm. But then she did Persuasive. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a totally different Doechii, and like one of the catchiest songs of the year. Like you can tell it was gonna be a smash hit from the first time you heard it. You know, like anyone likes that. I'll send that song to you, and then I'll go send that song to my sister. You know what I mean? Like everyone can fuck with it.
SZA, man.
And then SZA, like hopped on it and like just really took it to that next level.
12 for me is Massive by Drake.
Yep.
That's the one off Honestly Nevermind for me that you can play and get anyone jumping, put anyone in a good mood. Don't tell someone it's Drake and play that song.
Literally.
I would be interested to see who they think it is. The messaging and like the lyrics of it are what surprised me. You know, I know my funeral is going to be lit because of how I treated people. Mm-hmm. Like shit like that is where it's like, oh, like Drake wasn't just putting out this album saying bullshit. He had real lyrics. Yeah. He had shit he was saying. He had concepts that he's going to get out, and the feeling of that, the feeling of this, like, I've been through things. I wasn't at 10, but now I am, you know? Yeah. And now look at me. Now niggas gonna feel, you know what I mean? Like, it's triumphant once again. You know what I mean? It's him on a good summer day after going through a full school year. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're done. You're outside.
Wow,
You're with
yeah.
your friends. You made it through the storm. You weathered the storm. Now enjoy this incredible, upbeat, dancing song.
At 11, I have PG Baby by Red Veil
Yeah.
off his project Learn to Swim. For me, it's like a culmination of everything so far up into this point in his career into one song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you tell someone about Red Veil, that's like the clear song you show them, because it just really shows everything that we've seen him do to this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And do it like polished and do it perfect. And then you got Zell on the remix. The Denzel Curry remix is really, really fire. I love that he's talking about where he came from and who he is, because we need to learn about this kid. He's gonna stick around, you know? So this is like, I think, kind of a glimpse into his not only life, but his perspective on life.
Fire in the Hole. Earl Sweatshirt is my number 11.
Yep.
I think that, you know, I'm obviously, like, I talk about Sick a lot all the time. I talk about Earl all the time. This is once again him being a little bit more accessible. You know what I mean? This is him kind of going back to that Doris type energy where it's like, okay, you know, I got the deep voice, the production's a little weird, but I'm gonna let you hear these bars at least, you know?
Yeah.
It was mixed very well, you know what I mean? I feel like his voice was more at the forefront than it is on a lot of other songs.
Totally.
So that was cool to hear. And then just a lot about him, like, you know, reflecting on, I think, society on this track. I think a lot of the other shit was more personal reflection, and this is more like, okay, I went through this personal journey. I've seen what I've seen, and now where do I fit in this picture? How do I reestablish myself in society? Because I think that that's the whole takeaway from not just Fire in the Hole, but all of Sick. You know, is we were in a pandemic, we were ducked off away from a year, and we were so into ourselves. Now, how do we take that and be a part of society again? Top 10 time.
Top 10 time. We got our top 10 songs of the year. I'm looking at my screen. I'm seeing 10 hitters. I'm excited to get into it. At number 10, we have Wait For You by Future featuring Thames and Drake.
Yeah.
You were saying earlier, like, not your favorite song off I Never Liked You, but definitely one that needs the kind of praise that we're giving it. And I was going to agree, but then I was like, I wonder what I thought on Drop Day. You know what I mean? Before I heard it got played into oblivion. I think I might have told you it was my favorite on Drop Day. It's so hard to say anything bad about that song. You know what I mean? I hear it every day, you know, like literally every day, and I still like it. I still really like it a lot. And like you said, it's giving a lot of shine to Higher, which is, you know, a fantastic song, and giving Thames the respect that she deserves.
It's not shit.
Yeah.
Tim's is a cheat code for anybody. Everyone loves Tim's now.
Yeah, literally.
My number 10 is Scrabble by Boldy James. I love asking people who like Boldy James why they like Boldy James, what they like about him. For me, it is, I'm not a drug dealer. I have a podcast. But I love when he gets into his drug talk, because I don't think there's like a big, like, this is like a lot of other songs in terms of subject matter. It's how he goes about talking about it. The little, like, ducking the alphabet boys so much. We playing Scrabble, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
talking about the
like
CIA,
that.
FBI,
like, you
DEA,
know,
yeah.
like, it's that shit, because it's like, okay, you put time into it.
Yeah.
And I think effort is a big thing for me, and effort comes through in what he does, even though he does have that laid back flow. And then Nicholas Craven gives him this just droning instrumental that's so simple, and like you say, childlike, you know what I mean? Almost like a little folktale, you know, just repeating.
Yeah,
I gotta find out that fucking sample or whatever
for sure.
he uses for that, but it sets a beautiful canvas for Boldy to tell a story over.
Yeah.
When Boldy raps, it's like a drug dealer is putting his arm around you. He's like, all right, here, let me tell you a story.
man, literally, bro. Like, his drug bars are 100% unmatched. Whole brick of Sade, that's that sweetest taboo.
Like,
what? That fucked me up. I was like,
said-
yo, like, that's crazy. At number 9, I got Silent Hill by Kodak Black featuring Silent
Kodak. I mean, it is by Kodak.
Yeah, low key is by Kodak, but Silent Hill by Kendrick Lamar featuring Kodak Black. What Kodak did to that verse was absolutely disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? It absolutely didn't need to be done, but I'm so glad it was. You know, like, its song is perfect. Yeah. I keep saying that, and like, I don't want to keep saying that, but it really is, bro. Like, the fun, like, it's like Kendrick and Kodak switch places on that, because Kendrick is like fun, earwormy, kind of repetitive. You know what I mean? Like, a little bit simpler. And then Yak is like the one that's doing the rapping, like out rapping the fuck out of Kendrick. You know, that verse is probably the feature of the year. You know, probably the feature of the year.
I think it is. I think it definitely is.
And yeah, just the most fun song off the Kendrick album for me.
Very few people can go toe to toe with Kendrick Lamar, and I think if you're gonna do that, you can't be that traditional rapper. You need a little something different. You know what I mean?
Totally, because you're gonna get washed if you try to beat Kendrick at his own game. No,
Kodak
nobody's gonna beat him.
Was himself.
Yeah,
and said, "I'm gonna just be me and see what that does on a Kendrick song," and it might have given him feature of the year.
Yeah, literally.
That's fucking great. At 9, I have "Cuff It" by Beyonce, bro. Dance song of the year, debatably. I think that in a year when we've had so much stuff from great artists drop, we had maybe a legend, like the most legendary, like consistent dropper I think out right now. You know what I mean? Her and Hove maybe are competing with each other.
Yeah.
She came through with an album that rejuvenated her.
Yeah.
This is her sounding young, with the times, updated, fucking full of energy. It's so happy. It's really like feel good music. You know what I mean? It's the idea like we gonna fuck up the night. You know what I mean? Like you can go out, bro. Girl, guy, whatever. Like if you're like preparing to have a good night in the town with like people, bro, this song is perfect for that. Then when you actually get outside, you could play it at the club. You know what I mean? And then, well, like the last thing I'll say is the songwriting, when it doesn't have to be great, but it's still great, is what's dope. Because she'll take this amazing chorus or amazing pre-chorus and then still give you 2 verses that are just up to par. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just as memorable, just as earwormy. Great Beyonce.
All right, at number 8, I got "Designer Drugs" by Boldy James off the Nicholas Craven project. I had to pick between Scrabble and Designer Drugs. I think either of them could be in this spot for me. But I had like Designer Drugs just has the slight bump because of the instrumental that Nicholas Craven put together and the way that sax fucking wails, bro. Designer Drugs is everything I love about Boldy James packaged in one song perfectly. You know what I mean? It's a very artistic instrumental that's catchy and just like blows you out of your mind just listening to the beat alone. And then it's his flows. You know what I mean? Like for me, it's his flows. Like I love the talk too, and obviously songs called Designer Drugs. It's some of the best drug talk I've heard from him. But for me on this one, it's just the pockets that he finds in that sax. You know what I mean? And like every time I listen to that song, I want to play that song again. You know what I mean? Like over and over and over again. I love that song. No.
Number 8 is "PG Baby."
Yep.
By Red Veil. As someone who, you know, like we always say, bro, Red Veil is one of those young artists who is attention grabbing the second you press play on one of his projects or songs. You're like, oh, this kid is about his business. What this did for me was really put him in a class with, like, Denzel obviously got on the feature, but like it took him. He's a force to be reckoned with. Yeah. And I don't think I saw that before I heard "PG Baby" because I hadn't heard him fully grown up. He sounds like an adult for the first time to me on this, really. You know what I mean? He sounds sure of himself. Yeah. There's that I know I'm fucking dope. Totally. I'm not a kid. I'm him. I'm on the same level as everyone else here. You know what I mean? Like when he's telling me to put my foot on their necks, bro, like he's really doing that. You know what I mean? Bro. And that goes without mentioning one of the better beats this year in hip hop. Like one of my favorite beats in here. I love a good sample, love a good vocal, like, you know what I mean, loop throughout. Jeez, this is good. I don't know who produced this, but shout out to you, bro. Yeah. Like you said, repping PG County so hard because everyone from the DMV area is really proud to be from the DMV area. And I think he's encapsulating that and kind of being their champion, and that's dope to see.
Number 7, I got "Pussy in Millions" by Drake and 21 Savage featuring Travis Scott. You talked about it earlier, and I second everything you said. But just 2 elements that stand out to me are Drake's melodies in his first verse are just some of his most like natural sounding, like addicting. Like it just reminds me of the best Drake hits in the world. You know what I mean? But like it's so good. And the way Savage comes in, like right when he first comes in, it's so like, oh, you know what I mean? Even when you're listening to a whole album of 21 Savage, like that is some of the most like hungry I've heard him. Like, oh, like I need it. I need this shit. You know what I mean? And he talks about it in the messaging in the song as well, the lyrics that you kind of touched on. And like, okay, at the beginning, like right when it came out, I was like, I don't like that we beat switched for Trav. You know, I would have loved to hear him on the instrumental. And I still stand by that he would have really sounded great on that instrumental. But I'm fine with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it definitely, like, adds something to the song. You know what I mean? Like, it might have been too long if it was. You know, it keeps it spicy.
I like it. I think that it sounds like it's cut from a different cloth than everything else on that album to me.
Yeah.
Like when I hear that song, I'm like, oh, this is a step above everything else. This is some of everyone involved's like peak performances.
100%.
That's always great to see.
Yep.
On number 7, I have Father Time by Kendrick Lamar and Sampha. Kind of similar to what I said about Pussy and Millions. I think that on, 2 quality projects, when you hear these songs, they sound like standouts. They sound like moments in time. It's, once again, great artists linking up and doing something message-wise, just artistically, that hasn't been done a bunch of times, for me at least, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't see people talk about father issues and that relationship as much as I would like to, you know what I mean? I feel like that it's hard being a dad, you know what I mean? And then like there's a certain level of responsibility that comes with, you know what I mean, being a parent, and I don't think a lot of people are ready for that, and that causes issues that people, like, everyone's been affected by it. And for Kendrick and Sampha to take such a complex issue that could be told so many different ways and find a way to so eloquently just describe it into one thing, Sampha putting it into this beautifully sung chorus, you know what I mean? That this like just rock like epic production sets the stage for so amazingly.
Yeah.
And then Kendrick just, oh my God, like timely with the fucking Kanye Drake shit to make it funny. You know?
Yeah.
Like just everything about it, and like tying that into the story of like, this is trauma.
Yeah.
Even still, me trying to throw these shots at these other niggas, I'm doing it because I'm traumatized.
Yeah.
The awareness to say something like that and the layers to it is why Kendrick is so great, and why I think this is like, it's not the song I'm listening to the most off Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. But every time I look at the album, I have to at least contemplate playing this song and going into a mental thought loop for the next fucking 30 minutes.
For sure.
And fucking my head up and being like, damn, is this why all men fucking look at shit this way? You know, like it's great fucking song.
It's not my most played song either, but probably the best song on the album.
Yeah.
At number 6, I've got Evergreen, You Didn't Deserve Me at All by Omar Apollo.
Yeah.
We know it. It's going big. It's just a beautiful, beautiful song. You know what I mean? Like timeless as fuck. You know what I mean? We were talking about it when we were talking about his project Ivory. It's music that you could play for anyone, a 60-year-old, like you were saying, or an angsty teen. You know what I mean? Like it's really for everyone. It's just like at its core an amazingly written song. And I think when a song is structured, the foundation of the song is so strong, then you just add to it. You know what I mean? You just build out from there and you add little bells and things that make it feel a kind of way. But it's always just a great song.
Yeah.
And so it will always be a great song, you know?
Yeah, it's fucking dope to just see someone talk about a failed relationship and moving on so candidly and like being hurt, but that hurt not breaking you.
Yeah.
Or fucking you up.
Yeah.
And then like taking that pain and being like, oh, maybe I wasn't the problem. Maybe this person was just a fuck nigga the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's beautiful to see. It is self-love in such an interesting way. You know what I mean? I love non-traditional self-love.
Yes.
I think my number 6 is another timeless song from a timeless artist, bro. Out of Time, The Weeknd.
Oh, yeah.
I think that Dawn FM early on didn't get a lot of shine, didn't get a lot of airplay. You know what I mean? It just wasn't the moment that I think a lot of The Weeknd's music is.
Yeah.
This fucking song, though, had me fucked up from the beginning of the year till the end.
Yeah.
I could play it in any situation, any time of day, wherever, whatever, bro. It's for anybody, you know what I mean? Just a great song because it's so like you want to, like I'm gonna keep saying you want to dance to it, but you know what I mean, you can't play it and help but move back and forth. You know what I mean? Like the message is simple. I think for all, like, you know, we talk about these really great song structures or subjects that haven't been talked about or said in this way. This is a concept that's been spoken about a million times.
Yeah.
This is a song that's been probably done a million times, but it's The Weeknd's take on it, and The Weeknd is so fucking talented that's why it's great. Like,
if there was a class on like how to write like a great pop song, this should be like day one, like syllabus day, like play them at a time, you know, and just like study up.
And if I would challenge any of our listeners, play the song and tell me you don't like it. Like
you can't.
This is like one of my safer songs of the year.
Yeah. Ooh, big five.
Yeah.
It's all led up. The whole year, the accumulation of the whole year is led up to 5 songs.
Facts.
And I'm ready to stand on my 5. At 5, I got Johnny P's Caddy by Benny the Butcher featuring J. Cole. Song's incredible. Song's incredible. Just the highest level of just rapping that we got this year. Just bar for bar. You know what I mean? Both of them 100% bring it. It is one of Cole's better features ever. It is one of Cole's better verses ever. You know what I mean? Just the power that it feels like he has in this song. You know, I feel like oftentimes J. Cole is like very humble. You know what I'm saying? He's very, you know, to a point sometimes when you forget he's him. You know what I mean? He is a legend, you know? And like this song, there's none of that. This song is fully him standing on everything he's done in his career. On the night I was born, like, yo, shit is stupid, and the beat is like, it's perfect because it's not doing too much. It's the perfect beat for it. It like meets right between J. Cole and Benny the Butcher. So for a song for both of them, it's like absolutely perfect.
I think that I've definitely began to appreciate being selected with features, and collaborating with the right people. And just from both Cole and Benny's perspective, that collaboration was so effective and so great, and just much needed. You know what I mean? It was great to see Benny get to shine with someone who is really mainstream and like one of the biggest lyricists we have now. Putting him on that stage, Benny deserves that. Yeah, and then Cole, you know, people play with Cole's head top. Yeah, they do. You know what I mean? Benny's a drug dealer. You can't play with him. You know what I mean? Benny's like, he's stamped. Yeah. Cole sitting on this track, rapping with him, being cool with him. Like, that was a great moment for both of them.
You're right. Literally, they both brought each other closer to middle. You know, sometimes they're a little bit too in their own little world, in their own little lane. Yeah. And it kind of brought them both a little closer to center and closer to like a holistic artist that we both love.
For number 5, I got Stressed by Doechii.
Nice.
Dog.
Yeah.
Dog.
Yep.
Dog. I mean, we talked about her in the Best New Artist, touched on her album a little bit. This is, I think, everything that we've talked about put into a song. It's 3 different genres at once. It's really 4 different songs if I'm thinking about it. Yeah. Conceptually. Oh my God, I love what she's talking about, bro. I love, like, societal pressure is one of my favorite things for artists to describe, let alone just people, you know what I mean? Just because I think we're all kind of like conscious about like, how is this person looking at me? What do they expect from me? You know what I mean? And I think Doechii is articulating that and then breaking expectations at the same time. Yeah. Like when she breaks out into that super fast rapping at like that frantic high pitched voice after just singing to you in such like a beautiful mesmerizing way. Yeah. It's like, oh, this is her conscious maybe. Yeah. This is maybe what's going on in her head that she's not letting us see from the outside. You know what I mean? I literally hear it as, and I think like this is the last thing I'll say, like, the song is so beautifully titled because it's called Stress, right? And what is stress? You know what I mean? Because I feel like, especially if you're handling it well, you don't always show people that you're stressed. Outside demeanor calm, but inside your head, you're freaking the fuck out. And having that sandwich so perfectly between everything else going on in the song, even the production kind of picking up a little bit. Yeah. Masterful.
It's like when you're writing a song about something, if you can write about that thing really well, great job. You probably wrote a great song. But if you can show what you're trying to talk about without really talking about it, you know, and then you can use your lyricism as the art that it is, you know what I mean, and kind of get playful with it because you're communicating this message on a deeper layer than just like communicating with words, you know. She's playing with feelings at that point. It's crazy. Number 4 on my list is Mercury by Steve Lacy. It's my favorite song on Gemini Rights. It's one that took me time. That when it was the first single, right? Yeah, it was the first single, and off rip, I was like, okay, you know, cool, but definitely not thinking it was gonna be the top 5 year end for me. But the song is a masterpiece. Yeah. From the little bit of swing that the time signature gives it, you know, that kind of makes it sound different. I think that's what's off-putting for a lot of people is the fact that it's not in 4/4 time. You know, so it's like you can't like nod your head like you would to every other song, but it's so intentional, and to me, it makes me feel like. I don't know, bro. It's so many things. It's classy and elegant, but it's also like fun and kind of unhinged. And the outro to me is one of the best parts on the whole album. Like I fucking love when he breaks into he brings the girl in, you know what I mean? And they kind of sing to each other.
That's him, bro.
Huh? That's him?
Yeah. At the end, you're talking till retrograde is done. That's him.
That's him.
That's him.
Steve is amazing.
Yeah.
Steve is so amazing, bro. I can be your girlfriend. That's Steve?
I'm like 99% sure that's Steve, bro.
Wow. The song is incredible.
At number 4, I got another Steve Lacy song. I Have Sunshine with Fouché.
Nice.
That is probably okay. So if Mercury, because I like that song off the jump, so I think that's why it like might be higher in like my overall personal favorites.
Yeah.
But these past 2 months, every day, every single day I wake up, the song I am most excited to play is Sunshine.
Yep.
It feels like a ray of sunshine.
Yeah.
You walk outside, you know what I mean? I love the way it starts.
Yeah.
The way it starts is just like exactly why the song is where it is, because it's almost subdued for a second. Makes you wait for just a little bit. It's like, bum, bum, bum. And then the second it comes in, it's like, oh, the picture's being painted. Yeah. It's like, you know what I mean? It's gray world, HD, slap in the face as soon as you hear that guitar drop. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Stephen Fouché, play with, like, you know what I mean? I don't know how they fucking are able to like go back and forth, like they've been making music together forever. You know what I mean? You even see it in the live performances. It's like the energy that they have between each other, that chemistry is just so like palpable and just great. Fouché might be my favorite part of the song. The ending was I still like, what?
Oh yeah.
Beautiful song.
That song's incredible, and I had a total different experience with that one than I did with Mercury, because Mercury took time for me. The first second I heard that, I said, this is fucking crack.
Like,
what did they put in this song, bro? This is crack. Because right as soon as you hear saying my ex like my name ain't Steve, you know, you're hooked. There's no way you don't like the song. So
unique. There's nothing else that sounds like that.
And the video was incredible. I loved the video. I love them as a duo, because I know that this is her only feature, but I know that she wrote a lot of the rest of the album with him. Can they date? I don't think I think Steve's into girls now, right? At number 3, I've got Savior by Kendrick Lamar featuring Baby Keem. My favorite song on the album. Yeah. Without a doubt. My most played song on the album, the one that I continue to go back to and continue to love. Because for me, it's like it has the same listenability as Silent Hill, the same fun banger to it. You know what I mean? But the messaging, it hits me harder. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just the themes, and I think it wraps the whole album up. If there's one song that I had to say, this is what Mr. Morale is about, it's about this. Because I think one of my biggest takeaways was save yourself. Focus on yourself before you have time for everyone else. You know what I mean? And Kendrick to say, like, I'm not your savior. None of us are. Do that. Whilst also, like we were talking about earlier, kind of also being the savior. You know what I mean? I love the way that he says, I'm not your savior, but then he is. Then he does it. You know what I mean? He saves us by telling us how to save ourselves, and he saves us by sacrificing himself and doing things that are going to ostracize him, you know, but then speaking on cancel culture, making an example out of himself. And that's just on messaging, because the strength of the song is definitely like sonically how it plays. My probably favorite moment on the whole album is when he like rolls into that, you know, I see, wait a minute, Veneki, c'est la vie. That shit is fucking crack. And the outro that you were touching on at the end is like maybe the best part on the album. I keep saying that, but Savior is incredible.
The start of that song is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ear grabbing.
Yeah.
It's a moment. At number 3 for me, I have Last by Burna Boy.
Yep.
I mean, if you were outside, if you didn't live under a rock, you've been here for the last 2 years of Afrobeat really starting to take over the world, being everywhere. You know, you see, I think K-pop has done it there everywhere, the BTS and shit. You see it a little bit with reggaeton music and Bad Bunny. Just this international music is the wave now. They have taken an approach that I think a lot of the artists out here, with hip-hop being the biggest genre, have kind of strayed away from, because I think hip-hop's a very cool, I'm going to be laid back at the club and not dance, I'm going to be mean mugging.
Yeah.
When Last comes on, get up, take your sunglasses off, go to the middle of the dance floor, and have a fucking great time.
With everyone else.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's anthemic. It's, once again, something that I think we all needed coming out of such a stressful time of our lives.
Yeah.
You know? We needed something that was a feeling. It's not the words that are always important. It's not knowing everything. It's not being able to perfectly recite everything. It's being able to all indulge in this feeling and this energy and this sense of togetherness that this song creates, this connective unity of like the whole world, bro. It's like, yeah, someone in Africa is turning up just as much as I am to this right now. Like, you know, it brings people together. It sounds like togetherness, and that's something that I think we all could use.
100%, 100%. My number 2 song is Walkin by Denzel Curry. Dropped at the top of the year, and all year, whenever any banger would come out, I'd be like, Mom, is this Walkin still song of the year? And be like, yeah, probably. You know, and we did that all year because it's peak Zell. It's him really peaking. But I think it's the best thing he's ever put out. And I think it will probably go down as the best thing he's ever put out. And that's not a knock on his catalog or on the potential I see on him. I think it's just speaks to the strength of that song. You know, flow is perfect. Lyrics are perfect. Like there's nothing I can really even say. The video is incredible. I love the aesthetic of it. Yeah. It matches what he's talking about. It's just really a great song.
It's my number 2 as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, just talking about it some more. It's fucking great to see someone. It encapsulates Denzel's career for me. You know, it's coming from Florida, coming from these situations that are not certain, you know what I mean? Tomorrow's not promised for everybody, you know what I mean? But especially when you're coming up in a dangerous area. It's struggle, but improvement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just constantly self-improvement, constantly getting better. Keep going. Don't quit. And what will come of that? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Think about it even in terms of listening to the song. You know what I mean? At the beginning, it's that slow part. You know what that like it kind of lulls you to sleep moments. It's still really great.
Yeah.
And infectious from the first time you hear it.
But there's no 808s, no drums.
You know, there's a lead up. You gotta earn it, bro. It's one of the best hip hop songs of the year, but you have to earn that. You know what I mean? You have to hear that. And that's what life is. It's about constantly walking, perseverance, keeping going, on top of just great bars.
It's the same thing you were saying about Stressed. You know what I mean? Where it's like, let me write a song and be such a good fucking songwriter that like the biggest way I'm gonna communicate this message is through feeling, not through words, but through like the actual way the song is constructed. You know, like keep on walking, keep going, keep listening to this song because I promise the payout when the little hi-hats come in, you know, is gonna make it all so worth it. You know,
I'm gonna be real. When he goes into that second verse, after when it picks up, that is my favorite moment in rap this entire year.
Yeah.
Like hip hop music, rap music, there is not a better verse to me.
Yeah.
From beginning to end, because I think it's all one verse, you know what I mean? He's not really like doing much in between it, bro.
Yeah.
Denzel took a moment and like ran with it.
Yeah.
And I know that he's had a difficult year in terms of like when you put out something that's so close to your heart, which I feel like this was. He talked about therapy and shit, you know what I mean? It's easy to get real defensive about it.
Yeah.
But, you know, get these flowers, you know what I mean? Hold these flowers because you really spoke to niggas, bro. Like that felt like a message a lot of people personally could use day to day.
Yeah.
You know? Gets people going through the day.
Seeing that live was one of my favorite moments of my life in 2022. I could have fucking shed tears watching him do that live.
Yeah.
And he like no backing, like did it just as good as like the record. He's incredible.
Shout out Zoe.
All right, it's time.
Yeah.
Number 1. My song of the year, my song of 2022, the song that I think deserves the most shine is Last Last by Burna Boy. And it's for one reason, and you talked about it, but it is human connection in a song. And that song, like I remember when I first started listening to that song, it made me want to be with people. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people spent the pandemic in their room working remote and got really comfortable by themselves. You know what I mean? And I definitely did. You know, I found it hard to come out of the pandemic and talk to even my best friends. You know what I mean? I'm like, let me just hole up here. I'm good on my own. I got all this shit, you know? I'm going to go listen to my Earl Sweatshirt record, which I can just really get into by myself. You know what I mean? But I put on Last Last and I want to go party with people. I want to go be around my friends. I just want to be outside in the sun, enjoying life. That song makes it reminds me to love every day. You know what I mean? And that's the most important message that I think any song could give you. Yeah. And the way that it brings people together, because it's for everyone, because you can play it for everyone. And I'm not even talking about it like we were talking about Evergreen, where you can play it for a 6-year-old or a 15-year-old. You could play this for someone in Africa. You could play this for someone in fucking Greenland. in US, you know, like how can you not move to this shit? It is fucking infectious to the nth degree, you know?
Yeah, it's a great song. I don't know how you can't like it. It's because I think, you know what I mean, a big thing with people is like what they don't know. You know what I mean? They're very easy to critique. You know what I mean? It's easy to try to poke holes and then just be like, oh, you know, belittle it.
Yeah.
But listen to this. You know what I mean? Go into it with an open mind. Go into it not trying to think too much about it. Don't try to break it down.
No.
Just, you know what I mean? What does it make you feel? What does it make you think? And even the first time, if you don't get it, keep it in rotation maybe for a week. Play it. You know what I mean? Because it plays with so many different things and works in so many different vibes that you may not expect off the rip, and it may bring out different emotions in you.
Yeah,
because I've heard like people who are like Nigerian and like really fuck with Burna Boy more than like I could even imagine. You know what I mean? I'm still kind of new to it.
Yeah,
it's not all a super uplifting song. You know what I mean? There is like. There's like to have the triumphant vibe, you have to go through pain. Yeah. So that is somewhere in there. You know what I mean? And the fucking Tony Braxton sample is amazing. But yeah. Last is great.
Last is great.
My song of the year is fucking Bad Habit.
Yeah.
Everybody has heard it a million times. You're drunk for not having it on your list. I'm so sorry. That's crazy, bro.
I think
you can't
talk about it.
You can't mess with this song.
No.
Gemini Rights is everybody's like kind of surprise album. Steve Lacy took the world by storm, and I think this was at the forefront of all of that. It's so humble, which is what I like about it. You know what I mean? So stripped back, so vulnerable. Like, you know what I mean? I wish I knew you wanted me. Like, it's just very relatable. Yeah. I think Steve Lacy makes super, super relatable music. And then what made me have to put this number one, because I wouldn't typically do the obvious choice. It's the fact that I want to not like it as much as I do. Yeah. And I listen to the song and I'll like it more. Every time I hear it, I like it more than I did before. I'll realize parts I didn't realize before. It's complex. Yeah. It's a dynamic ass song, which is like in like 5 different parts have gone viral. Yeah. Shout out Steve.
That's such a good song, bro. And honestly, I just didn't put it on my list because I didn't want to do 3 Steve songs. Yeah. And I needed Helmet and Mercury. I just needed those 2. But like it totally has a great claim for Song of the Year.
That shit.
Shout out the hits this year, because we just went last to Bad Habit, songs that like I think everyone knows. And I think sometimes we try to personally, I shouldn't speak for you, but I definitely am more inclined to like songs that less people know. You know, I like the hipster, the pretentious music shit. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, but you like that? I actually like that. You know what I mean? Like, I like to be an individual and be different, but like those 2 that we just named are undeniable.
And it's like, for me, what I've realized this year is like, a song that's a hit doesn't mean the same thing to me that it means to everyone else. It doesn't even, the 2 people who only listen to the top 40 exclusively are still going to hear the songs differently. Yeah. And like them for different reasons, you know? Yeah. So I think that when we go back and we listen to the biggest songs of this fucking year, I'm like in love for last for the memories, you know, that I've created with my friends, how it makes me think about fucking Saul and Sam for putting me on to Afrobeat music. You know what I mean? Yeah. I go to Bad Habit and I think about every fucking like awkward conversation I've had, you know what I mean? Yes. Or like just moments when I've been like confused and like liking a girl. Like, it brings up emotions that maybe someone who's going through, like, those are past emotions for me. But someone could have maybe be going through that shit right now. You know what I mean? It's nostalgic for me, where it could be like hopeful in the future for someone else. I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe they want to like someone.
Exactly. It is nostalgic. It is nostalgic for me too. And I love the little outro too. Fuck around and get like, bruh. Because that's just like, that is nostalgic too. Like, he brings that element in that was a big part of like that era, like, when I was like awkward and, you know.
I swear I don't want to like the song. Yeah. Like, I swear to you. That's why, bro, I've went in really not even thinking it's all that so many times. Yeah. And have been blown out of my, like what? Like, what is happening right now? I'll go and listen to the album and be like, oh, just another song. And it's like, nope. If I was listening to this album and like I forgot all the names, but like I still like was familiar with all the songs, I would hear this and still, even after hearing it a million times, be like, this might be the best song on there.
Yeah.
You know, it's
one of them. It's one of those. It's definitely one of those.
Shout out Bad Habit.
Just from the first. I just hear like the first second of it in my head, like right now, over and over again. I just want to hear it so bad. It's crack.
Like it really is. It really is, and that's all Gemini writes. That's our list. You know what I mean?
Top 20.
You know what I mean? Just like all great music. Another great year in music.
We'll make a playlist with all of our picks.
Facts,
It'll probably be about 30 because we had some overlap, and we'll put that link in the description. So make sure to go follow our playlist, listen to all these songs, because I promise everything that we mentioned is a hitter.
See how it evolves, man, because it's going to be interesting to go back. Like, I'm going to be able to go back to music from last year and be like, do I still really like it as much as I thought I did, you know?
Yeah.
When I listen to this in 2024, am I still going to feel this way about all these songs?
Totally.
Music is fucking great. It's literally one of the best gifts we have, you know?
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments what your favorite songs are.
Yeah.
Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man.
Uh-huh.
Thanks for fucking with us in 2022.
Come on.
Fuck with us some more in 2023.
No
Catch
doubt.
you on the next one, man. Peace.
Peace.